NASCAR is headed to Tennessee for the Food City Dirt Race at Bristol Motor Speedway this Easter Sunday, April 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern. It'll be 250 laps of slipping and sliding around the dirt track, and this is a unique track with none other on the schedule like it. Looking at some trends or track history, well, there really isn't any. The first race was held here last year, and we saw Joey Logano win that race while leading 61 of the 253 total laps. Martin Truex Jr., who led the most laps of 126, wound up finishing 19th in that race, and we saw only 5 drivers lead a lap during the entirety of the day. 18 drivers finished on the lead lap, and there were a total of 10 cautions, with 7 of those coming because of accidents. Looking at the drivers to watch ahead of this very unique race on NASCAR's schedule, you see a handful of guys have pretty extensive history on dirt tracks, including Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Alex Bowman, Tyler Reddick, and Chase Briscoe, just to name a few. But the guys I'm keeping an eye on leading off with last week's winner, William Byron, at plus 1,200. He's simply on fire right now. NASCAR's best driver on the 2022 season won his second race, as I just said. He started 8th in this race last year, finished 6th, had the 5th best driver rating at this track, piled up 21 fastest laps in that race, and ran 100% of the race inside the top 15. The next guy on my list is one of my favorite drivers simply because of his paint schemes, and that's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. at plus 2,500. You can throw out his 2022 season, as it's been pretty crappy, as we head into this dirt race in which he is one of the guys that has an extensive history on these kinds of tracks. He showed his prowess last year, finishing both stages inside the top 10 and ultimately finishing the race second. The last guy on my list is Eric Jones at plus 4,000. Heading into this weekend's race, he's been running pretty well for the 43 car, finishing 3 of the last 4 races inside the top 14. He did really good in this race last year, finishing 9th after starting the race way back at 24th. He ran almost 80% of his laps inside the top 15, and he was one of the top 5 best cars late in runs. If you like any of these early race lines, make sure you head over to FanDuel Sportsbook, where you can get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000 by signing up now. And I'll catch you at the end of the week with my entire Food City Dirt Race betting card.